Oh, here comes my wife. The hell? Looks like we were initially on a live and then it went south, so I've rebooted here and hopefully this will get us where we need to go. Hey Leah, I'm not really separating anything. I don't know where I set that. I don't know. Oh well. Alright. Wolf Ridge is warm and we got a little bit of help here, so we'll gas it up. Like I said, some of these are pretty naughty. I'm curious to see how they split up. They look good, but they are naughty. Tell you what, let me come around and get another one on here. We'll work on that one. Try to take a smaller bite. Stringy red oak. You don't see that very often. Alright, get this out of the way. It's got a weird smell to it too. See, normally red oak pops right open right there. Like that. Now we're rolling. Oh baby, don't fight it. Knots running through it. I'll split that again. We got this stuff all through it. You got basically limbs running sideways. I try to cut some of this stuff off so it stacks better. Alright, let's see what's next. I'm still seeing all the knots here, but this one looks better for sure. Still working for it. Inside of this must look pretty gross. Oh, this is one piece right here. I don't know if I can hit it with this. Start cooking here in a minute. Boy, look at that one that popped right out. That was growing nice and deep in there. A lot of you guys know that we heat with wood, so a lot of what I split is all different sizes, and I kind of make my fires based on that. My son and I will load the rack every night inside, and then we will load the rack right outside the door probably once a week. And I like stuff as small as kindling to get the fire going, and then I like stuff, you know, that's more like 5x5 or 6x6, what people like to call all-nighters. I have quite a bit of that in a tote. This really reminds me of willow oak, which a lot of people think is pin oak. They call it pin oak, but it's not. It's willow oak. It's a red oak. It's a yard tree. It grows super fast, but it's not a willow oak because, like I said, I saw one of the leaves, and it's definitely not a willow oak. I couldn't discern what type of red oak it was, but a willow oak is very easy to note. There's only a couple of red oaks that look a little bit like the willow oak leaf. I'll give it a split. Thank you. Hey, Leah, let me get it. I'll get it. She ain't hearing it. Oh, she's hearing it, but she ain't hearing it. Thank you. Let's take a look and see who's here. Holy cow, 119 of you folks. I'm just going to say hello to everyone and get to popping, man. Y'all didn't come here to hear me talk. Alright, here we go. There it is. The sound that never gets old. Now we're talking. That's a good piece right there. I thought it was bigger than it was. Because it had this little shingle on it. We don't need that. For anybody that's new to the channel or to the chat, I'm doing this is just personal wood. I can make bundles out of it, or I can make home heat. I'm just kind of doing it all different sizes. So if you see some small, some big, this is all going to go into my wood shed for 2020. I'm on 2026. I might be getting close to 2027 actually. Let's see. I haven't done inventory in a while. I just keep splitting. We had jiu-jitsu at 11 instead of 10. I have found in the recent lives I've done in the last few weeks, you guys seem to like the 9 o'clock a little better than the 8 o'clock. But we got to have something for the early birds too. Got the bikers out early this morning. We live on a bike route. Get another one up there. Holy cow, you guys are just pouring in here. Humbling. Much like some of this wood I try to move around.
Alright, nice and easy up on the
Alright, let's push this piece out. The stringy. Alright, now we're off to the races. Story of my life. Go ahead. Go ahead. Not getting in. That's alright. Let's see if I can pop that thing in a little more than it is. I'm not super worried about the pin most days, but when I'm splitting big wood that can lift the wedge up off, then I usually do. I like to have it in nice and snug. And there's a million ways to fix this better, and I just never do. There we go. We're back, baby. kindling there. Alright, let's see what we're working with in here. 250 people. You guys are wild. I'm gonna move you for a second to get another log. Good morning to everyone. Happy Saturday. Let's get after it. I'm gonna put you guys back where I had you. Alright, right there. Looks good to me. This one don't want it, but we're in far enough to be in a predicament. Let's get ourselves out of it. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Give it one more shot and then we'll just pop it off with the chain. Boom, baby. Boy, you love to see it. This thing is gnarly. Oh, this is oak. Thank you for looking at that. This is oak. Specifically red oak, but here's the thing, I don't know what species of red oak it is. I saw the leaf, but the leaf was so far gone that I could not tell what type of red oak it was. Yeah, watch those pieces right there, buddy. I wish I had an exact species for you guys, because it's definitely not splitting like your classic Quercus rubra, which is your classic red oak. Again, I feel like I say this a lot, but also, you know, we get new people every week, and so I'll say it again. Many of you guys may know this, some of you may not. We can all learn from each other. Red oak is not just a species or a type of wood. It is a group of wood with many species. So pin oak is a red oak. Black oak is a red oak. Willow oak is a red oak. And the list goes on and on and on. There are hundreds of them. I've heard people say that's not red oak, that's pin oak. Well, that's not accurate. Even if it is pin oak, it is a red oak. So this is definitely red oak, but I do not know which species. White oak is the exact same way. A lot of people think white oak is just a species. It is not. I've posted pictures of white oak or videos of white oak, and people will say that doesn't look like the white oak I split. Well, that makes sense, because you probably split a different type of white oak. Maybe you're splitting Quercus alba. Maybe you're splitting Quercus stellata, which is post oak. That is also a white oak. Maybe you're splitting swamp chestnut oak. Maybe you're splitting just chestnut oak. Perhaps you're splitting bur oak. Well, every one of those that I just named are white oaks. So that's my spiel on that. We are splitting red oak of unknown species. And it's not a layup by any means. You guys saw this thing working. Wilfred is going to work. So we bought it for though. This one's got a nasty knot. Oh yes. I should have spun that one the other way because it was pretty nasty. Go ahead and push these out. I was saying earlier, for anybody that was not here earlier in the chat, this reminds me, the smell and the look of this reminds me of willow oak, again, which is a red oak. But I saw the leaves, and it was definitely not a willow oak. I just saw one leaf, and it was really crumpled up, so I couldn't make it out. And I don't like to tell people the species if I'm not sure. But what I am sure of is that this is definitely of the red oak group. Probably one of those like hybrids. They've bred to grow fast, a lot like the willow oak, because it's got this like fleshy white center, just like a willow oak. Got the oil cooler kicked on. That's how you know we're doing something. Alright, we got another one with a nice little flare on it. Let's see how we get it. Yep. I hope everybody's having a good morning. And that the coffee is flowing. Use the log lift, guys. We'll try to fight it. The good news is anything that falls over there is right beside the log lift. You may see me reach back like that. That's just me short stroking it, bringing the cycle back early because the wood is already split. No need to go all the way down. I think I'm in the market for a conveyor, and by in the market I mean as soon as I sell enough firewood, I'm buying a conveyor. For anybody that does not watch my YouTube or Facebook or whatever, this is a little side hustle for me, just something that I enjoy doing, and sometimes with the wife and kids. And I don't spend any of our money, I say our money, any of our paycheck. Oh, here's some knots right there, boy. Nice little chunk. I don't spend any of our paycheck on firewood stuff. It is just, everything I have came from the sales of the previous season, including the wolf ridge, including the tractor, including the dump truck, the trailers. I just reinvest it because it's not really an income stream that I'm looking for. It's just a hobby that I love. And of course, like I said, we heat with wood, so it's a little bit of a necessity, although we do have LP if we need it. Who in the chat, if you hear this, who in the chat heats with wood? I'll walk over there and see if anybody. And if you heat with wood, what's your favorite wood to heat with? I think a lot of people would say oak, but a lot of people don't have the ability to say oak. Yeah. A lot of the West Coasters. She's not gonna let me do it. She got it. Good job. That's okay. That's fine. I'd rather it fall on the ground than on a leg or a foot. On my old splitter, I had an old hydraulic splitter that was homemade out of a D5 dresser dozer cylinder. And I would still do big rounds, 30-inch plus rounds on it. You want to talk about really killing the spirits whenever those 30-inch rounds came off that beam, because it did not have a log lift. The way that I got wood up on that one was a 2x10, a 12-foot 2x10. And I rolled it up the 2x10. I've got videos of that too. Here we go. This one doesn't look terrible, but we'll see. I've been wrong before. Do what?
Ireland.
No way, that's awesome. My wife just told me that someone was here saying hello from Ireland, and I've got a story about Ireland. I can't tell you that I know a ton about my heritage, but what I can tell you is just by looking at me, I've obviously got a little Irish in me. So my wife, who you guys can see here in the camera, is also a redhead. And we've been together for 15, 16 years. And on our honeymoon, we went to Ireland. We stayed for 2 weeks. And I almost could not recommend a cooler place on earth than Ireland. The people were amazing. The food was amazing. Y'all already know the beer was amazing. But I think above all those things, the people. So thank you guys for tuning in from Ireland. I would love to come over there and split some wood with y'all. Gonna make this one nice 4 pieces. Boom. That's a bundle piece if I've ever seen one. The conveyor that I'm looking at is the conveyor that I believe Sherry and Ted over at Miller Stumps and Firewood on YouTube that they have, as well as Tim over at Neighborly Homestead, who I have talked to at length about this conveyor. And the general consensus, actually a guy right here probably 30 minutes up the road has one as well. He's had one for years. And the general consensus is, for the money, you can't beat it. Is it the best conveyor in the world? Absolutely not. Does it do the job for thousands less than the next conveyor? Yep. So as far as I'm concerned, that's the one for me. Flat out getting through this wood, man. So if you heat with wood, what's your favorite? I will say I am not a wood snob. I'm just fortunate. I mostly heat with oak, but I will burn anything, and I do burn anything. I will burn tulip poplar, regular poplar. I almost said poplar the way everybody in the world spells it online. Poplar. Hey. All right then. Can't tell her nothing. Can't tell me nothing. So that's a 2 peas in a pod. She's the type of girl that if you try to make it easy for her, you think she can't do it the hard way, and she'll show you. There we are. We went to Ireland, we flew into Dublin, we rented a car, we stayed a few days in Dublin, we went to Northern Ireland, also known as the UK, and it was funny because I've always driven a 5-speed until, you know, I guess my adult life. Now I just take it easy. The only 5-speed I own is the dump truck. But I've tried for years to get my wife to learn. And at one point I did teach her. I think she could have got us to the hospital if she needed to. Well, we went on our honeymoon in Ireland, and she was like, hey, maybe we should get an automatic, because we just got the cheapest car they had. She's like, maybe we should get an automatic in case you get a little too drunk to drive, you know? If you want to go out and have drinks, then I need to drive home. And I was like, well, that's a good idea. So we're at the rental place, and I said, hey, we ordered a manual, but can we just pay extra for the automatic? Because that's generally what you do here in the States. Boy, that lady looked at me like I had 3 eyes. She's like, we don't have that here. I guess all y'all just know how to drive a manual, which I think you should. So needless to say, I was the DD all trip. But a lot of it, you know, it was walking distance. We went to Port Rush, awesome little town, Giants Causeway. We went to Killarney, Galway, a couple other places. It's a beautiful, beautiful country. Nice people. Tell you what, some of the worst stuff I've got here is, it'll be some of the last stuff if we even make it to it. And I don't know if I can leave the 4-way on. We'll see. I can manipulate it. I try to be a little more interactive. So I'm sorry if I'm missing anybody's questions or comments. I'm assuming out of the few hundred people that were here a minute ago, y'all rather see me split and talk. Since I got a mic, I guess I can do both. Let's see what we got. Man, you guys are still hanging out. I see a good morning Jack, so Jack must be here. I see Chris from the Weekend Warrior 802. Thanks for stopping in, Ted. Get that wood bagged up, buddy. I am behind on that. Alright, let me get y'all out of the way so I can get some more wood over here. That one's ugly, babe. That one's gonna be a problem. Guys took a spill. You know what? After I you'll grab that glove. Thank you. After I moved you guys to move the wood, I didn't put y'all back. That's the problem. Let's see if I can get y'all in a good spot here. Nope. Bear with me. We're gonna get there. We made it. Firewood. Give it about 1.5 years to 2 years. I'll burn this probably, it'll be toward the middle of my shed, probably December, January of 26. It's about 1.5 years, 18 months or so. I got so much wood all around though. I mean, I might leave this in there for 2 or 3 years. Watch fingers around this thing. Mine and hers. See how this one does. It's got a gnarly little split to it. Let's see if I can show y'all. Encapsulated it in one of the splits, but I don't see it. I saw it going through. Oh, she's got it right there in her hand. Leah, get this stuff out from under it. It'll be easier. That piece of bark right there. There you go. That's good. Yeah, there you go. Got it? You want me to get it? Bring it this way. There you go. Knots everywhere. We'll split right through this one if we can here. I think we about to split the bark off that one, but we'll burn it. I like for it to be nice enough to stack. If it's not, it goes to the boiler wood crowd. Two good buddies of mine run outdoor boilers. I feed those. Again, everybody, if anybody new here, welcome. Happy Saturday. I hope you're off work. Out in the wood yard, or depending on how your Saturdays go, maybe still on the couch having a coffee. Cut that knob off. I think she brought the ugly one over here next. I don't really know the best way to attack that. My daughter's over there needing something. Ooh, boy, she probably left at the best time. She saw that next round. Let's take a look here. Alright, I'm gonna chat with y'all for a second here. Let's see if I can go back. We got Brian from Foothills Firewood. Bill, Craig's here from Craig's Sports to Coles. All great channels, you guys. Check them out. If you're into firewood, you won't be disappointed with any of these channels. Jonathan Robbins, baby. Cutting that wood. I don't know if he's still in here, but for anybody who saw his comment, I've known that guy for... How old am I? 40. Yeah, I've known him for 40 years. We used to crawl into church pews together. Drake Livestock Farms, thank you for being here, brother. And hello, good morning, and happy Saturday. K&J Lumber, making that chimney lumber. I love it. You already know. Gotta stay warm. Tell you what, part of me, let's see what time it is. This is going to dictate whether or not I take the 4-way off. 9:13. All right, we got time to mess up. I got another 20, 30 minutes maybe. Oh my God, this thing is ugly. There ain't no way. Make sure I got a chain nearby so I can pop it off when it does this stuff. Oh man, this is really rolling. This is ugly. I'm telling you. If it don't look like it on camera, you gotta take my word for it. All I gotta do is get it open. Nah. That thing said nah, dog. Let's see. Give it one more go. Come on, baby. Oh, you're so close. I can feel the fibers. God, I can see it cracking all the way to the back. I just don't want to take no for an answer. And that is why. Let's go, baby. Take the L. I'm not gonna. Alright, let's see what we got. Oh, this thing is ugly. I'm just pulling knots out of left and right. All these crooked pieces. Alright, let's see what we got going on here. Let's get it back on the log lift and I'll roll it around. I mean, y'all can see this piece right here is sticking out. Golly. All you gotta do is open them up with this machine. Once they open, it's a wrap. I don't care if that tree didn't do anything but grow knots for its whole life. Make a little piece of firewood out of this guy. Flat out made some firewood this morning, guys, in just an hour. We're easily gonna have a cord of wood here. Alright, let's see what's going on. 245. It's like y'all knew that nasty one was coming. Rolando Lopez, what's up, my man? Thank you guys for being here this morning. Ooh, we don't like that. Try again, it says. Position. Probably this side over here, because this is not city over here. I don't even know about this way, but we'll see. Through that first knot. Ugly. Ugly. I don't know if we got a decent piece of firewood out of this thing yet, but we definitely got some firewood as it falls to the ground. Flash City on this guy. Boilerwood Central. Try to use a single knife here and get some decent firewood out of this thing. Goodness gracious. I'm fighting a single piece of wood. motor's getting full, so I can't just throw it haphazardly. Lovely knot. All the people in my comments talking about do something naughty. This is nothing but. And we're just shaving them down. This whole piece, I'll be lucky to get 15 pieces of firewood. The rest of it's probably going to my buddies. The boilers. I don't even know if I should split that one again. It's a decent piece now. I think I might just turn it into spaghetti. They said. We're just shearing these knots off. All the way around. Not ideal. People love to see splitting knots. I don't know why. Put a 40-inch piece of oak up here and it pops open and people are like, yeah, but do it with sweet gum, do it with hickory, do it with some knots. Why? Y'all just like to work hard or what? Why would I do that? I mean, don't get me wrong, I'll split them when they come. I ain't out there looking for them. Sounds like I ought to be though for y'all. It makes me think, I don't know if you guys follow Alan online. He's known as TKP or Timber Cutter Patriot. He's always giving people a hard time about put a bark box on it. Put a bark box on it. Talking about all the steel guys. He's a Husky guy if you didn't know. All the steel guys in his comments talking about put a bark box on it. That's how I feel about y'all with the knots. Try it with some knots. How about I don't? Say we did. Until I have to, then I will. The thing about the knots are it's not fun to watch. Like it doesn't pop open. It goes real slow the whole way through. There's nothing exciting about it, you know? People just like to see other people struggle. I guess that's the exciting part. Got some of this knot, put a blindfold on. Got some smaller stuff here, but it's ugly. Look at it too. Still got a couple big rounds here, but we're starting to get to the end of our allotted time. firewood coming out of this one. We needed a redemption story. We needed a good comeback after that nasty, naughty one. Now that my wife's not out here and I am both the splitter and the conveyor, I probably should have idled this thing down. I'm not going to be able to keep up with it. And at some point, you're just wasting gas. Alright, what do we got here? Something weird. Crotch. Let's see if I can shave this long piece off like that. Let's see. Whatever, let's just go for it. Trim later. Put a hard box on it. That cracks me up when he does that. If you guys follow me on Facebook, then you probably saw me getting these logs. A tree service friend of mine. I don't know if I've posted it yet on YouTube. Ugly. Probably going to regret making this trailer this full. Let's see what we got here. The tractor won't have a problem pulling this out. The problem will be jerry-rigged, poor Jerry, getting a bad rap here. Do the jerry-rigged hitch that I have. Got a little drawbar hitch I made out of wood. It'll pull a face cord in and out of some holes, and it'll pull a cord on level ground, but something tells me this is going to break it. Here's another ugly one. Let's see. A lot of you guys might know a cord of oak, which is what this is. Red oak specifically. Red oak weighs 63 pounds per cubic foot. So you could do the math. Now it's different when it's dry versus wet. A wet cord of red oak probably weighs anywhere from 53 to 5,900 pounds, maybe even 6, but I think an average cord of wet oak is right around 5,500 pounds. And my trailer's got 3,500 pound axle, so you already know where we're at, on the ground. Nate with the reverse Jenga. That's exactly what it is. Don't be blaming Jerry for the rig. Hey, without Jerry, we wouldn't get it done. I just hate he had to take the fall. Just like Karen. All right, let me show you guys what we got. This is a fat load. This is a 10-foot trailer. And we are piled nice and high. I'll tell you what, I've got another probably 1/6 of a cord that I split earlier and kind of threw into the gully back there. And then here's some over here, all the slash, of course. And then all of that over there will go as boiler wood. So we're getting there. We got some white oak, little tulip poplar. All the wet wood up there getting poured on. But that is what it is. I think let's see. I got time for one more small round. Let's do a little encore round here. If I can get it over there. Man, all these are ugly. This one's got knots all over it too. Bark box on it. Alright, let's see how she rolls. Shit. I think the ants probably helped me with that one. I hadn't been bit by an ant all morning, and this will be the last round. I'll probably get chewed alive, man. These ant bites hurt. Some of those ants get up under your shirt, start biting your stomach. Shoo! You know, you know. I like to knock it around a bit. A little ant eviction notice. I'm not gentle with it at baseline, but I'm definitely not gentle once I see a bunch of ants on it. that one. Do something with some knobs. Put a bark box on it. Let it run for a minute, let the oil cooler do its thing. I'll show you guys around. Got 2 more pieces. It wasn't in my plan to keep those out, but it'll work out nice because I can use those 2 pieces to make a short. We got a bunch of white oak over here cut up, Quercus alba, the actual white oak, classic white oak. Some tulip poplar, and just a little bit of scrap left. Need to get in here and buzz these down, so I have to cut the ends off this. They're already trying to grow. It's just been so wet and muggy, and this, my wood yard, it's 4 inches in some spots. Like that right there is probably a 6-inch log, and it's covered from the drifts of the hard rain with all the sawdust. Might be an 8-inch log. It's buried. I got sawdust everywhere. This right here, these I use these tulips as skids. I mean, these are every bit of 12 inches, 11, 12 inches, and they're almost buried. So I need to get the wood yard in order, but coming into fall is not the time to do it. Look at all we got split there. I need to pick some up off the ground. Anyway, I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me on Saturday. Y'all could have been anywhere else, but you chose to be here. Thank you guys for hanging out. Hope everybody got some community out of each other in the chat. I'm gonna have to ask Dan or Jack or somebody how I can go back and read the chat, because I generally try to keep up with you guys, but there were times where I saw 100 to 200 people in here, and I know you guys weren't trying to stare at a splitter while I was behind here reading the chat, so I kept going. It can hold more. Oh, you're right about that, and it will hold more. I'm gonna get these other 2 rounds up there. 1, 2, those are probably 22-inch, 23-inch rounds, and then I'm gonna get these up here, these little halfies. Some of this is garbage. You can see where the ants got into it. That one right there. Anything that's oak and currently cut, I'll throw that piece up there. I say oak, I meant red oak. Oh yeah, this piece right here, I've already bucked these up. You can see where I've cut those, they're ready to be grabbed and thrown up there. So it's gonna hold another, I won't put a full face cord on it because I don't have one, I don't think, but I'll put, I say 3/4 of a face cord on that, and that's just getting into some hairy math that I'm not even gonna try to make myself look stupid on live TV here doing, so. I appreciate you guys being here. Jessica, thank you so much. Definitely hit the like button. It really helps me out a ton. All you got to do, if you didn't know, is just click out of the chat and hit that like button. And Jessica specifically, because I saw you almost, might have been the first person in here. You were either the first person or one of the first people, and now you are one of the last. So I don't know that I have seen your name pop up before, and I really appreciate you being here. I hope to see you on future videos and future lives. Welcome, and thank you guys again. Thank you, Chris, for being here, and you guys have a great day too.